Alright, hello and welcome back. So in the previous video, what I did was I went and I was having difficulty understanding how C# uses Avalonia to actually be able to create a GUI. And so what I did was I went in and I decided to do some practice things. So I tried multiple different ones, kind of like vibe coding with this, and I was still pretty confused. So I decided, okay, well, I'm going to go do a tutorial. So I went and I followed along with the tutorial, and the point of that was to try to understand, okay, well, how are these components actually working? But now what I want to do is, okay, now it's time to actually develop it myself. Now it's time to start trying to create the application myself. So first thing is, I actually don't think I need this anymore, so I'm going to just delete it. Move to trash, yes. And what I am going to be doing is I want to first get to the right terminal, or get to the right location. So and this is where I want to be. That's correct. Okay, so I am going to paste in the command. So .NET new install Avalonia template. So this should create the template for us. Let's press go and see what we get. Okay. Alright. So it looks like it failed. Doesn't look very... Well, it didn't... Hold on. Why is it... AWS wrapper... Okay. Uninstalled. Well, that doesn't look good. Okay. We know what we're going to do with that. Copy it. And paste. Oh, okay, so that's just... Oh, okay, that's just the install. Okay, cool. This is what we want. Okay, now .NET new, Avalonia. Okay, here we go. Okay. This makes sense. Alright, but I think I actually want to do it one above, because I want it to be in this AWS designer. Right, I want it to be part of this wrapper. Okay, so what I'm going to do is tree minus L3 can go like this, and then I'm going to copy this and say I don't want it to be in a new folder. I want my project to be part of this folder here. Also, is there a clean way to move files around in version control? Okay, there we go. Let's just, I'm trying not to do a new folder because I eventually want to get everything at this top level, right? And I don't want to create a new folder and then essentially delete the folder but keep all the contents. So like take all the contents of that folder, put it into the same level, and then delete this folder, because then Git is going to have a upset time. So rather than creating a nested subfolder, you need to use force flag and the name parameter carefully. Okay, creating the project in the current folder. If you are already inside the directory where you want the project files to appear, run .NET new Avalonia and then with the force flag, and then name is going to be this AWS designer. Okay. but that does conflict with this, right? Actually, I think AWS Designer is going to, I want this actually to move inside of here. Okay, so as mentioned, the standard template is naked. It doesn't have the observable property or relay features yet. You need to add the NuGet packages. Okay. Since you're using Git, you should never just drag and drop into the Explorer. If you do so, Git sees the old files deleted and the new unrelated files, okay, destroyed. The golden rule of moving files. Use Git and then mv command. This tells Git explicitly that the files are moving, preserving its history. Okay, so what I actually want to do is okay, so refining your folder structure. Looking at the tree, you have okay. I'm gonna say, actually, I want the AWS Designer to be inside of my practice folder. Then I want to create the project with all of the files on my top level AWS wrapper that AWS Designer was just practice. Okay, so we'll figure out how to do it cleanly in Git right here. Okay, so here's the cleanest way. So make directory practice old practice. I don't necessarily think I need to do that because, okay, I just want AWS Designer to be a folder in here, right? So git move AWS Designer and then the location. So let's just try it and see if it works. So git move, and then we can do the current location. So AWS Designer, and then the location which we want to put it at. So practice. Let's see if this breaks anything. Go. Okay, awesome. Just as we were hoping. So git status, right? Okay. And now I want to do git add and then git commit this, and then just say moved AWS Designer into the practice folder. Okay. Okay. All right. Git push gen main. All right. Why are you upset? Git push origin main. Hopefully I still have connectivity to my... Okay, yeah. Okay. I was like, did I lose my SSH or... Okay, cool. My keys are still in order. Okay, so now that we did this, creating the new thing. So .NET new, and then AWS Visual Designer. Okay, I kind of like that. Let's do it. So now from within the same location, I should be able to just go like this. .NET new Avalonia.m vvm, and then name is equal to AWS Visual Designer and then force. AWS Visual Designer, right? And then force. Okay, let's see if it does everything. No, I wanted all of this to be here. Okay. Although technically I could just take this and then move it. Right? I can move it later. So I'm going to do the same thing of tree and then minus L3 and say I don't want it in a separate folder. Or should we just leave it? I don't know. Maybe we just leave it. Yeah, I don't want it in a separate folder. I don't want it in a separate folder. You want the okay. Since you just created the folder, we should move everything one level up and then delete the empty folder. Okay, so move AWS Visual Designer, everything up a level to the current. Okay, to current, and then dev null, remove the empty subfolder. Okay. Maybe I can just develop here. Let's just do it. Worst case scenario, we have to take everything and then move it up a level later. That's fine, whatever. Commit. I'm gonna say created project. Files. Avalonia. Okay, fine, whatever. So that should be okay. Go. Okay. Git commit. There we go. All right. So now we have this, and let's start looking at what. First off, I guess I can verify that. Oh, I need to push it. Git push origin main. Let's verify that it actually everything is good. So AWS Visual Designer right there, and then practice, and then okay. Okay. Awesome. So now what I want to do is I want to run it. I want to go into this AWS Visual Designer, and then let's just see if I can .NET run, and we should get like a simple like Avalonia thing, and we do not. Okay. Alright, we need to fix our csproj file. Where'd you go? Here you are. Okay. And now we run you again. Eventually it will come up. Eventually. Okay. It should be here. There we are. Welcome to Avalonia. Awesome. So now what I want to do is I want to have I want to come here, and I'm going to try to connect my views. So I want my views to be connected out to my view models. So I need to create a new thing here and a new thing here. So all right, let's do that. So new file, right? And what should we call this one? This one is going to be like AWS Resources homepage, or maybe just home page .axaml. Okay, like this. And now I want another one, so new file, which is going to be called home page .axaml.cs. Okay. So we have our two files now, and now I want to be able to kind of hook them up. And so I need to come into here and not here, right? And I need to change these two. I want the window to be this home page. So I want to say home page here, okay? And Copilot is okay. So home page here, and now I don't want this one. I want to connect this. I'm going to say, what's a good name? So we need to create a new one here. New file, and this one is going to be called Do I just call it homepage view models? I'm not sure what I should call this. Homepage view model.cs. I don't know if that's an inappropriate name. It could be. Okay, so, but let's just do this. So, home page view model, like this. So now, this is where my HTML is going to live, okay? This is where it's going to be connected up, and then this is where I'm going to do the logic. So I need to be able to actually connect those. Let's look at here, and kind of just let's copy this and modify what we need. So copy you, and this is HTML. By the way, I'm just saying HTML because it's so much easier than it rolls off the tongue much more than AXAML. So I'm just calling it HTML. Okay, so I need to look at my HTML file. I come in here, and now I want to change these things. So the class is not going, it is going to be AWS Visual Designer, and then views, and then this one right here. So homepage. Alright, so that means that we need a class in here, which is homepage. So now let's come in here and look at how they define theirs. So using Avalonia controls, so I'm just going to go back and forth between these two, because they're going to be very, I think that actually they're going to be identical. So using Avalonia.controls, okay. Namespace, okay, so, well, yeah, the namespace actually is going to be the same as well. Namespace of AWS Visual Designer dot views. Okay. Do we actually do that? So we do that instead of, because sometimes I see it where it's like captured in brackets, but other times not. So, and then I believe we are going to have a public partial class called home page, okay, that inherits from something, I forget what, and then come in here and have the initialize, right? Not this one. Public partial class, yeah, public partial class, and then from window, okay. Window. Nope. So, is there a reason that it's not happy with that? Hopefully it's okay. We're not getting an error, so that's fine. And now we want a constructor, so home public. Do we want this partial? No, just, and then initialize component. Okay. Home page like this, initialize component. Okay, so I think we hooked this one up to our HTML here, and now what we need to do is hook up our other one. So we need to be able to, so yeah, we hooked this one up. Now we need to be able to hook this one up. Okay. I'm just gonna close this out as well. And then, do I need to, it was saying the other stuff about like you need to install stuff. Hold on. This one, no, not this one. This one? Yeah, I think so. Why do I need to do that? Okay. As mentioned, it doesn't have observable property or relay command. Okay. Do we want to actually see that it doesn't? So, I'm thinking maybe I try to go and see like why we need that and then how to fix it. Okay, so homepage here. And now we need to change this. Okay. Data type. So this is the home page view model, which is this, that we haven't created yet, right? So now I'm going to look at this one and get the general idea. So I want namespace, which is going to be AWS Visual Designer, okay, and then public partial class called home page view model, okay, which inherits from a view model. What was it? View model base, okay. View model base, and then I need my constructor. So public home page view model like this. And are we just blank right now? I think so. Okay. So they just have the greeting, and then this is connected in the HTML, right? Like binding, greeting. Okay. So I should be able to do something similar here. So public, no, just public. Why is it default? What? Wait, what? What's going on? Why is it unhappy with what I'm doing? Is it because it already has a constructor? I'm not sure. Okay, so maybe we don't need a constructor. Because it's partial, so that means that I'm guessing that the constructor is actually somewhere else, maybe? I don't know. So public string greeting and then a getter. Public string and what do I want to call it? Message is equal to get like this. Is that right? Is that how we do it? Yeah. Okay. And then is equal to this is my message. Okay. There we go. So now I want to be able to connect this message out to here. So not greeting. I want to bind message, and it should be like this. So this one gets changed to be capitalized. Okay. So, and then this probably needs to change as well. I'm not sure, actually. what is this doing? I actually don't know. So this is going to be a question that I'm going to ask here. So I'm going to say, I created a new file called a home page view model and home page dot whatever axaml dot cs, and now I want to run this files. Now I want to run these files. Let's see. Oh, Susie. So she. Okay. So she's headed to work. Off to work. Off to Amazon. Okay. So now I want to run this file and get the GUI from here. But I don't know what these design data context things is doing. Okay. And then the next thing that I want to do is, once I get it to pop up, that means that I created the new files correctly, but I now want to come in and have a observable, because I want to see it fail. Okay. Homepage, so to get your new homepage to show up when you run the app, we need to distinguish between preview time and the code you're looking at when you actually hit .NET Run. What is data context doing? Oh, hold on. I'm going to respond to her. Pause. Okay, and we are back. So, where was I? I kind of forget. Oh, right. I was trying to get this to display. Okay. So, and I was trying to also understand what this thing is, data design context. So what is design data context doing? Think of it as a stunt double for the IDE. When you are writing your HTML, the computer doesn't actually run your C# code in the computer. It doesn't run the logic. So, it doesn't know that message exists, so it can't show you a preview. Okay, that makes sense. The purpose is to create a dummy version of the view models only for the VS Code. Oh, I see, okay. So to be able to fix this, we do design data context, then home page view model. Yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking. I just wanted to make sure that I was on the right track. Home page view model. Good. Okay. How to run it? Okay. So we did this. Okay. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Okay. Well, we did not get an immediate compiler error. Okay. Usually okay. View model base cannot be found. Are you missing the directive? Okay. View model base. Did I inherit from something which was not there? View model base here, and view model base with this one. what is this? I do not remember doing this. Homepage. Okay. So with this one, view model base is within this view models namespace, right? So did I not? View models. Okay, there we go. That would make sense why it would not have access to the view model base. Okay, so let's see if it runs this time. Usually takes, I think, about 30 seconds. Okay. Okay. Unable to resolve property message. So this is one of the things that I despise about these horrible ways of translating code. Like, okay, message. This is not actually the same thing that we have. This one's greeting. That's not what I want. This one is message. Okay. Now, the rules say that it should be like this, right? So, we're going to paste in, okay, paste in that. Paste in this. And where is it actually upset? Home page, this one, here. Okay. And then say, tell me the problem and the concept that I am missing. Okay. The error is happening because of a fundamental rule in case sensitivity and the difference between fields and properties. You defined it as this, but it should be created. It should have the public thing. Are completely different names. Well, yes, but no, I don't think so. Why did your previous code work with observable? Oh, the observable property is the thing. Okay, hold on. You might be confused because in earlier practice you'd said message with an underscore, and here's why it didn't work. When you use the toolkit observable property private string, I'm actually going to copy this, or not copy it, but I am going to come in here and I am going to change this to be capital, come on, capital M, right? We're going to get this, and now we're going to run this, and then what I want to do is I want to see if this works, then do an observable property, see that it breaks because we hadn't installed the library or the toolkit yet, and then what I want to do is be able to, okay, this is my message. Awesome. So it's working. Okay, great. Now what I want to do is come in here and then do the same one that they did. So observable property, like this. Observable property, private string, and then I'm going to say private message here. Okay. And this is going to, okay. so now we should be able to run this and fail because it doesn't know what this observable property is. So we'll do that. And then while we're doing that, I'm going to come into here and look at what I want to do here. So I'm going to say another text block right under it. Okay. Observable property could not be found. Okay. Awesome. So now what I need to do is I need to come up here wherever it was. So add the package to my, it's not going to like that. Paste. There we go. And add this to my, where is it? CS Proj. This one here. So we're going to add it right now. Let's look to see what it has. So it has this community toolkit. So it does have it, which I am now going to say that I'm not going to do this. Let me go into my practice and see how they did it. So tutorial, follow along, view models, and then I want this one. Community toolkit. Okay. And then we can delete the ones that we don't need. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of you. And then come in here and do this. And now I do not want this one, obviously. Okay. Collections generic, that should be fine. Link queue, this is for like language stuff, that's fine. Object model and collections. Okay, this should be fine. So let me come in here and let me do another text block. So I'm going to say text block here, text is equal to, and then this binding private message, right? And this is the changed version. The other one was underscore little p. And then horizontal alignment is equal to center, and vertical alignment is also equal to center. Okay. And then closing brackets. Okay. So now I want to run this and see if it works. Okay. Nope. Now, what is our problem? What's our error? A non-nullable value. A private message must contain a non-nullable. Oh, right. Do I need the getter and setter there as well? This is my private message. Okay. So we're just gonna rerun this, and now copy this and ask about do I need to declare a getter and setter for this? what is the rule for when I do or do not? Oh. Oh no. Am I frozen? Okay, okay. It's recovered. It's recovered. For when I do or do not need a getter or setter. Alright, I'm going to press go. Hopefully this does not crash my entire system. Okay. Unable to find a setter, so we do need a... Sometimes it does it in the... I'm thinking, does it do it in the other one? Like the hidden code or whatever. In C#, the rule depends on whether you want the data to be read-only or read-write, and whether you are letting the source generator do the work. Yeah, I thought we were having the source generator do the work. Here's a breakdown of the two examples. This is my method. Do you need a setter? No, because you've initialized it with a value. Okay, the rule get is a read-only property. The UI can display it, but the user cannot type into a text box to change it. Okay. Should it be private or should it be public? No. This is a private field and generate a public property called private message. Okay. So that's what I thought, right? But now I'm getting this error. Which seems to come in conflict with what it just said here. Okay. One single thing inside. Okay. Two or more controls like text block or, okay, sitting directly inside the window tag. Okay, is that a problem? The compiler gets confused and sees the second one and says, I don't have a setter that allows multiple assignments. Which is technical speak for you can't put two things in a one-slot toaster. Windows stack panel, okay. The concept, the visual tree. In Avalonia, your UI is a tree. The window is the root. The stack panel, or grid, is a branch, okay. The text blocks are leaves, okay. Alright. So, stack panel, like this. And then on this one down here, it is also going to be stack panel, like this, but with the closing, right? Yeah. Closing, and then we rerun it. Hopefully this does not crash it. Please do not crash. Alright, there we go. While that's doing its thing, I am going to come here so that I can keep reading. You can only have one branch attached to it. If you want more leaves, you have to attach them to that branch. Okay. Use this if you want stacked on top of each other, vertical or side by side or horizontal. Okay. Grid. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So we were able to get it. Awesome. So now let's start working on kind of the styles and trying to change it to be the way that we are hoping for. Okay. First what I want to do is want to save my work. That's what I want to do. So git, and then add all git commit created basic Avalonia. Created basic Avalonia framework for the GUI. Okay. Alright. Okay. There we go. So now what I want to do is I want to come in here and start kind of like messing with the HTML. And in order to do this, we definitely need to try to understand how the styles work, what is the layout that I even want. Obviously, I know that I want something which has kind of different AWS resources, right? So how do I want to structure all of this is one of the questions that I'm going to have. I don't quite know. Although I do really like his the way that he styled things in his project, in the practice project. So I might use that styling layout. The other thing that I'm trying to do, or trying to think of, is just like, okay, well, how am I going to break it out, right? Like, do I want the user to click on something, like a drop-down menu that says create new AWS resource, something like that, and then on the left-hand side it says, okay, great, here is a Lambda function, put in details of it, like information about it. I think that's kind of the direction that I'm wanting to go, but I need to think more about like how that's actually going to work. Yeah, I need to think about the actual UI now. So we investigated a lot of like how it works. Now I need to figure out like what do I even want to accomplish. So I think I'm going to leave the video off here and then think it over a little bit and try to diagram out, well, what do I want the UI to look like? How do I want it to be set up? And then from that, then we figure out, okay, great, what are we actually doing, right? And so the other thing that we could do is like, we'll do that later. We'll create models for like Lambda functions and different C#, or not C#, AWS resources. So like S3, Lambda, RDS, and then that's the data that the user is going to fill out. So I know that we need a left panel or a right panel. Yeah. Okay. Let me just come here and say, how would I perform the action, or how would I create a drop-down menu that has options for the user to select. Okay, let's see if we can get a menu on it. Why not? Okay, so in here we are going to, okay, so this is the homepage model view, right? Regions. Hey, and it knows that I'm trying to do AW. Right. Wait, no. This is the wrong cover. It knew that I was trying to do AWS. Okay. So, observable collection here regions, and then we're just creating a new observable collection, which is of type string. Okay, that makes sense. Reacting to the change, and then on selected region changed. Okay. And here's how we know about it. Okay. And then we do console write that they picked it. Okay. Now, what we can do is we have text box. Okay. Combo box, and we bind it to regions. Selected item. So then when they do a command, right, in the past it was like button and command. Now this one, it's a combo box, and that is a selected item. So this occurs when they select an item. And what do? We assign that to selected region, which if we come up here is the public version of the selected region, which has a public method called on selected region changed, and it's a partial, so it puts it in here, right, and then it performs this action. So let's try to do this actually. I want to leave this because I want to purposefully see. So we have this stack panel. Okay. But in the other one, okay, and I'm going to go look at the practice one. I'm going to look at his because I'm curious, how did he get two different like panes? So it should be views, and then this one. Alright, so we have windows.style, okay, that's fine. And then selector, all of these are styles. We're probably just going to copy and paste this because I really like the way that he set things up. It looks super nice. Okay, so button styles, all of this, delete button. Okay. So now we have grid. Okay, so he's setting up a grid with rows. Okay, so stack panel is within the grid. Okay, so he's kind of like nesting them. So we do stack panel with multiple items, and then another grid within a grid, which is this whole thing. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to... Come on. Is it frozen? Okay. I want to close out of this and just... I'll do it within the same stack panel. I don't need to get crazy right now yet. I want to do just a combo box. So okay. And then my computer is all within the same thing. Okay. Item source is equal to binding regions. Okay. This selected item is equal to, same thing, binding. Okay, selected region, like this. Okay. Place holder text is equal to choose an option like this. Okay, and then width is equal to whatever, 200. Okay. And then end it out. Okay. So make that even. So now text box. Interesting what's going on there. Not sure. All of this should be tabbed over by 1. Okay. So now we do another text block, not box. Text block. And then say text is equal to binding selected region. Okay, now we see something different. String format. You selected, okay. String format, interesting. Is equal to you selected and then 0. Okay. And this one here, here, and then there. Okay. Is visible. And normally I would just like copy and paste this, but right now I am trying to learn, right? So we're kind of going through this. Binding selected region, and then converter is equal to this one, x static object con what? Converter not null. Okay, whatever. Object converters dot is not null. Okay. So I don't know what that's doing yet, but at least I have it in my mind that it exists. That's kind of what we're doing right now. Classes is secondary. Okay, so classes is equal to secondary, and then close everything out. Alright, so now I need this selected region. So let's come in here and actually do the selected region. So I want this observable property. Oh, okay. Okay. And did I misspell it or what? Okay, whatever. It is going to be a private, would it be like a list of trying to think of how I'm going to do this. Of selected region. And then I also need something which is regions, right? Because I'm going to be binding region and selected region. So this is the one that's going to change. And what's going to be in here is like a, does it have enum? Okay. Maybe public string, public list of strings, like this, public list of strings called region, okay, is equal to here, and let's just say like east 1, okay. East 1, east 2, 2, wait, why are you angry? Okay. And then we will say west 1. Okay. So we're going to do it like this. And now this is going to be a string, or a list of... No, this is not going to be a list. This is just going to be a string. Hold on. They're not capitalizing it up there, so I think this is probably like that. Okay, do we want to run it? Let's run it, see if we get an error, and then... that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, let's .NET run. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. Then I want to come up here and see how they did it. So they had an observable property, which was a private string that could be nullable, okay. Selected region, okay, so we got that. We forgot to do the on, okay, we forgot to implement this, but that's fine. So this one is different. They did public observable collection, but of a string. Okay, I did a list. They did observable collection. Let's try to go in and understand why that's wrong. Why what I did is wrong. Okay. So this one should just be like that. Okay. Can you tell me why my way of doing the region was incorrect? What is the effect of doing it my way versus doing it the way you showed? List all differences and their effect. Okay. So in C#, my line public list string region here will actually cause a compiler error. Okay? So there are two reasons why a syntax reason, how it's written, and behavioral reason, how the UI acts. So the syntax error, why it won't compile. In C#, you cannot initialize a collection just using curly brackets without the new. Okay. So my way is like this, but that's invalid. Okay. The correct way is public list string regions with a get is equal to new, and then the actual things. Okay. The difference, list versus observable collection. This is the most critical difference in Avalonia development. So my way, UI update static. If you add a new region later to this list, the drop-down won't show it. Observable collection, the UI listens for additional, okay, that makes sense. Communication silent, it doesn't have an event to tell the UI that something changed. Okay. Data you fetched once and never modified while the app is open. So that's kind of what I was getting at. I was thinking that this would be something that is kind of static. So let's come in here and let's do that get, right? Let's do get like this is equal to new like that. And let's just see if it runs. Because I'm not quite convinced yet that we actually need... Oh, there was another thing here that it says. I should have looked at this. Region versus regions. Okay. Can I just Control C out of this? Like, it's not gonna work. I don't... Okay. Am I paused? I see that it's paused here, but I'm not sure if it's recording. Okay. So we will just try to... Okay, so that worked, and now we're back. So I don't know if it was recording or not, but anyways. So I said regions, and I said region. There we go. So, let's try it again. Although we don't have the on property changed for this selected region yet. I should have done that as well. We're doing things step by step. No, why? Declare was a member assignment. Okay. Here creates a public field. Creates a read-only property. Okay. works, but it won't update. So public list string region here. Okay. So I am going to let it know. Right now I am just experimenting with the list of string way because it will be static and I want to understand the concepts, but I am still getting errors. Okay, so while it's doing that, while it's thinking, I'm going to come here and actually start writing the other code. So what we want is hey, I did not say that you were allowed to come back. Okay, so what I want is like I don't know, public partial on what is it going to be? Selected region changed, something like this. And they're going to pass in a string of item. Okay, now you know that I'm doing this is like my go-to in like LeetCode or something. Item. Well, that's what it is. It's an item. Okay, when I can't think of a name. Okay. So now what are we doing here? Well, I want to say console dot write line I just got the data and you selected, I don't know if this is correct syntax. Item. I don't think that's going to work. Do I need to do like formatted string or something? Like Python or something? I don't know. Okay, so it's not happy with that. What if I just did it like this, plus item? Okay, well it doesn't like that. Oh, I don't know. Okay. Let's see what it did up here. Once it loads. Okay. So $, that's it. Okay. $, which allows me to come in here. Here we are. Item. Okay. So partial void. So I said public. Is that going to cause a problem? I do need a void because we're not returning anything. So do the signatures I know need to match. So I'll just say that, fine. And then it's going into a string, which could be nullable. Yeah, makes sense. And item. Okay. So now what I want to do is come down here and see what the problem was. Compiler thinks it's a weird anonymous object. Okay. New list of strings, or I thought this is what I did, right? Yeah, I thought it was what I did. Okay, this is very slow right now, obviously. Notice, okay. Is what I had. Okay. So, right. Why the get matters here. You notice I added get in the correct examples. If you write here, you're actually creating a field. If you write this with a get, you're creating a property. Okay, so yeah, C#, the properties versus fields. Binding is designed to look for properties. While Avalonia is modern and can sometimes find fields, using a property is the standard handshake between C# and HTML. A property with only a get is a promise. I will provide a list, but no one is allowed to replace the whole list with a different one. Okay. We'll show only 3. If I add, okay, that makes sense. So, because a standard list does not have shouting mechanisms. Awesome. Updated code here. Okay. Strictness rules regarding the new keyword. Even with your update, the line here is still missing one small thing. The new, with nothing between new and braces, is reserved for anonymous types. Okay. I need a new with like this. Okay. Shall we try it once more? Okay. I'm hoping that this does not crash anything, because I'm noticing that my computer is going slower and slower. Okay. I'm going to run that. And hopefully it will catch it. Do something. Okay. It got the command now. That's nice. I almost should have paused the video recording. I don't know. Okay. Oh, no, it didn't. I'm wondering if it's because I'm recording and doing this at the same time, and so my computer's like, it's too much for me. Okay. Once we get to about, oh no. Okay, I'm back. Okay, good. I almost want to stop the recording. Okay, we got an error. I'm going to actually stop the recording right now because I don't want to lose all of this time. Okay. Whoa, no. That's going to cause my memory to really crash. Okay. I've done that before. It comes in, does an infinite while loop. It's literally doing an infinite while loop and then crashes. That's why I always have this to the side. Because otherwise, I mean, you can go back and replay that portion of the video. You'll see what I mean. It goes like that. Okay, stop recording. Okay, well, anyways, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you want to. My name is Timothy Lee Grant, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I forgot to say that part. But anyways, I pressed stopped recording. I see that it's still recording. Okay, so yeah. I'll see you guys in the next video. What I'm going to try to do is go and get this working and see what I can do. But yeah, so thank you for watching. Subscribe, and yeah, my name's Timothy Lee Grant. Stop recording. Come on. You got this. You got this. I don't want to lose my hour and a half, because I've done that as well. I was recording and recording and recording, and then my computer crashed and I lost everything. I lost the entire video, and I was like, oh no. Okay. Close. Just get out of here. Go away. Please stop recording.